Does food affect your sleep? What you eat every day can impact your sleep. The food you choose to eat, how much you eat, and when all can affect your sleep. Would you change your diet if you knew it would help you get a full night of uninterrupted sleep? Here is your chances to do just that. Watch to learn how your food choices may be influencing how rested you feel each morning, and get a list of food that help you sleep better. Eat some tryptophan before bed. Protein-rich food are common source of tryptophan. You have probably heard about the sleep-inducing power of tryptophan, maybe in the context of a Thanksgiving meal. While it is not exactly true that turkey makes you sleepy all by itself, it is true that turkey is good source of tryptophan, but it is hardly the only source of tryptophan. You can also find it in chicken, ground beef, milk, nuts, and seeds, honey, and even bananas. Tryptophan is an essential amino acid. Your body can't produce it by itself, so it needs to find it in the food you eat. Tryptophan can be made into serotonin, which can in turn be made into melatonin hormone. Melatonin regulates your sleep-wake cycle. Your body produces it mostly between the hours of 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. Try a light carb-filled snack. Carb release more tryptophan into your bloodstream. If there a link between carbs and sleep? Is there a link between carbs and sleep issues? If you are researching for sleep, tryptophan has an array that needs special attention. Carbohydrates, which we call carbs, eaten with tryptophan can bring a sleep-inducing serotonin more reliably. When you eat a protein source containing tryptophan, the amino acid from the protein must compete to get through your body's blood-brain barrier. That makes it less likely the tryptophan you eat will be converted into serotonin. However, eating carbs trigger insulin. The insulin lowers the amino acid in your blood accept tryptophan. In another word, carb clear the way for tryptophan to enter the brain. While carbs with protein helps you make sleepy, it is important for your overall health to choose healthy carbs. Whole grain crackers and fresh fruit are examples of such carbs. So, a healthy bedtime snack might look like serving of milk and crackers, or a few lean bites of chicken with an orange or a banana. And should you snack before bedtime? Bedtime snacks can also help your snooze, but keep them light. Is it a good idea to go to bed hungry? Even if a retro calming food sounds relaxing, You may fear gaining weight from midnight snacks. This is a tricky situation you will want to handle carefully. If you find yourself binging on high calories food late at night, this can indeed promote unhealthy weight gain. It can also make it tougher to sleep, especially if you experience heartburn. However, insomnia can be worse on an empty stomach. Going to bedtime without eating can make it harder to fall asleep and also leave you prone to waking up in the middle of the night more frequently from hunger. Also, if weight is a concern for you, studies show that inadequate sleep stimulates the hunger hormone ghrelin. So if you can't sleep well on an empty stomach, you may make up for it the next day by eating too much. The solution is to go to bed with some food in your stomach, but not too much. Try a light snack instead of an all-out food feast. If your light snacks isn't satisfying, see if a higher fiber light snack helps. Fiber slows down your digestion, leaving you feeling full longer with few calories. Fatty foods can harm your sleep. Diet weighed down with too much saturated fat can make it harder to feel rested in the morning. This tip doesn't rely on when you eat. If your overall diet relies on fat, especially saturated fat for nutrition, you may be depriving yourself of good quality sleep. When your daily nutrition includes a high percentage of saturated fat, you spend less time in the stage of deep sleep known as slow wave sleep. This is the non-REM sleep you get earlier in your sleep cycle, and it matters. Your brain reinforce things you learn during the day while you sleep. Studies have shown that missing out on slow wave sleep make you remember less, which make learning more even difficult. Avoid sneaky caffeine sources. Caffeine lack in places you might not suspect. You probably know drinking a pot of coffee before bed is a bad idea if you want to actually sleep. But caffeine lies waiting in other food you may not suspect. A cup of hot cocoa before bed sounds soothing, but cocoa is made from chocolate and chocolate has caffeine. Caffeine hides in many beverages you may not guess, like some brands of root beers. So check the label to make sure you aren't accidentally stimulating your brain when you'd rather be calming it. Is your medicine caffeinated? Careful taking medication that you don't accidentally caffeinate yourself. If you have a headache before bed, you might not think twice before popping an Excedrin. But one of these popular headaches remedies remain ingredients is caffeine. It is not the only medication with caffeine. Many other pain headache drugs contain this stimulant as well. So do some cold medicine, weight loss pills, and diuretics. Some herbal remedies are caffeinated too. Caffeine lasts a longer time in your body. So, a caffeinated medication taken in the afternoon could still interfere with your sleep. The best way to prevent accidental caffeine is to read the label of each medication carefully. Approach a nightcap with caution. Sometimes alcohol helps you fall asleep, but it can also harm your sleep quality. The relationship between sleep and sleep quality is extremely complicated. Although it has been studied since the 1930s, scientists are still searching for answers about the relationship alcohol has with your sleep quality. All those studies have taught us a few things, though. First, alcohol makes it easier to fall asleep quickly. That is true whether you have one drink or several. Second, alcohol disrupts your second half of sleep. Wondering why? One theory suggests your body adapts to the sedative's effect of alcohol during the first half of your sleep cycle and continues to attempt to adapt during the second half even though it has processed the alcohol out of your bloodstream. Third, when you drink a moderate to high amount of alcohol, your REM or REM sleep stage shorten while you sleep while your sleep wave while your slow wave sleep increases. Fourth, your body becomes more resistant to the sleep inducing effect of alcohol after just 3 nights of drinking. There are hints of other effects too that are less well established. If you drink heavily, you may be more likely to snore, and that can harm your sleep quality. You may also wake up more frequently and earlier after a night of heavy drinking. You may be less rested the next day, and this may slightly impair your concentration. Even a slight impairment can cause problem in a demanding job like air traffic control. It is possible that insomniacs sleep better with one to two drinks before bed, but the same amount may be more disruptive for a healthy adult. Seniors should be particularly cautious around alcohol at bedtime because they require less alcohol to feel the same effect, and because they may wake up still under the effect of alcohol, which increases their risk of falling. And do spicy food give you bizarre dreams? Going to bed after eating unfamiliar food can make good rest hard to come by. Do spicy food affect sleep? Eating spicy food right before bed can sabotage your sleep. That is because spicy food can bring on heartburn, and heartburn pain can rouse you from your peaceful slumber. These ideas go back at least as far as the ancient Greeks. Famous physician Hippocrates claimed that nightmare could be provoked by as a fate of unaccustomed food. If there is any truth to this, although it is a popular idea that pops up again and again throughout history, scientists haven't shown much interest in exploring whether or not it is true. Heartburn troubles. Avoid acidic food. Avoid frequent waking by keeping heartburn at bay. Ever wake up with a burning sensation in the back of your throat? That could be heartburn, and there is a link between heartburn and sleep deprivation. Some foods are more likely to provoke heartburn than others. Highly acidic food count among them. To prevent heartburn, avoid these food close to bedtime. Citrus food, tomatoes, marinated food, dairy products, milk, yogurt, and cheese. Foods eaten with vinegar. You may not need to cut all of these out of your dinner plans, as some may trigger your acidic reflux worse than others. To find the food causing you pain, keep a journal and write down what you ate every time you experience heartburn. Proteins, pro and cons. The right kind of protein can help you rest better. And is there a link between protein and sleep quality? Protein seems to help you fall asleep faster, but it may depend on what comes with it. The trick is to get plenty of protein from your diet, but to avoid saturated fats. Some protein sources high in saturated fat include lamb, fatty cut of beef and pork, skin on poultry, cheese and whole milk. On the other hand, fish, skinless poultry, lean cut of beef, skim milk and azuki beans are few high protein foods that have little or no saturated fats. Also avoid liquid right before bedtime. To avoid frequently waking, make sure you hydrate 2 hours before bedtime. You are all settled in. The house is quiet. The bed cozy. You have eaten healthy, nutritious food, but not too much. You are just about to drift into a deep, restorative slumber, but the nature calls. You wake up from sleep to pee in the middle of the night. If you hadn't had that big glass of water right before bed, you wouldn't have to get up right now. But what if you are thirsty? If you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night to relieve yourself frequently, it is time to start planning ahead. Make sure you are well hydrated well before you turn the lights out. 2 hours before bedtime, start limiting your liquids. Get enough water before that time and limit your alcohol to 1 drink or less during that window. Of course, you will want to abstain from any beverage with caffeine too. Don't smoke, especially at night. Cigarettes are stimulants and they can prevent you from falling asleep quickly. Smokers are sometimes lured to the patio just before bed for one more drag. The nicotine may feel soothing in the moment, but don't forget it is a stimulant. It makes your heart beat faster and will make falling asleep more difficult for you. Eat better throughout the day. The diet choices you make all the day long can make a difference in bed at night. We have mostly focused on food you eat right before bed, but that doesn't tell you whole story. Studies show that the nutritional quality of your food throughout the day makes a difference at night. The more calories you get from sugar and saturated fat, the more likely you are to experience sleep disturbances. On the other hand, diet high in fiber and protein seem to help you fall asleep and stay asleep throughout the night. The good and bad of sleeping pills. If you use sleep pills, approach them carefully to avoid addiction. Sleeping pills are a tempting solution for sleeping problem. About 8.2% of adults in the US used prescription sleep aid at least 4 times in the last week. Used correctly, sleeping pill can help you develop a more regular sleep pattern and help you sleep better. But if they aren't used carefully, sleep pills can cause more problems. If you want to try sleeping pills, first discuss it with your doctor. Your doctor can steer you toward a helpful medication because on your sleep symptoms, medical history, and age, you want to approach these drugs with caution. Many of them are addictive. This is why most people use them only for a short time. Thanks for watching this long video. Consider subscribing, like this video, share and hit that subscription notification bell so whenever we approach a video you get notified.